I cannot believe I am doing this again, especially since you guys loved it so much the first time. But you, specifically you, made a good point. A class is too broad to rank, especially with all the subclasses in Baldur's Gate 3. The only solution? To rank all the subclasses. But because there's 46 of them, and a majority of them are arguably around the same level, instead, I'll give you the best 10. So based on how each subclass stands in and out of combat, without the assistance of multiclassing, here are the best 10 subclasses in Baldur's Gate 3, in no particular order. Starting with the honorable mention, subclasses that are great but didn't quite crack the top 10. And those subclasses being the Assassin Rogue for the insane surprise rounds, Life Domain Cleric for its absurd healing potential, and the Circle of the Moon Druid because Wild Shape Tavern Brawler is extremely fun. Bringing us to the first of the top 10, the Berserker Barbarian. Berserker is the ideal subclass for the Barbarian. Even though it is the simplest of the Barbarian subclasses, it is easily the most dominant in combat. The Frenzied Strike increases that potential damage per round, and on top of that, at level 6 they become immune to being charmed and frightened. The only downside to the subclass is you're still a barbarian, so outside of combat you are essentially useless. But that's what a barbarian's about, solving problems with violence. Another simple but dominant subclass is the Battlemaster Fighter, the next subclass on the list. The Battlemaster is another subclass that embodies its class. It is the best at what the fighter is meant to do, and that is hit something as much as possible and as hard as possible. And the Battlemaster's maneuvers is what lets you do that. Simple, but effective. That is the Battlemaster motto. The next subclass on the list is the Blade Singing Wizard. Wizards in general are an extremely powerful and versatile class. And because of that, most of the subclasses just add a little bit of flavor. But out of all of them, the Blade Singing Wizard gives you the best benefits. It gives you an AC buff, a buff to your Constitution saving throws, light armor proficiency, bladed weapon proficiencies, and a small AoE heal/damage pulse with the Blade Song Climax. On its own, Blade Singing is easily the best wizard subclass in the game. Leading us to the next subclass, another caster, the Shadow Magic Sorcerer. The Sorcerer, like the Wizard, is another class with a lot of innate potential, where the subclasses offer some minimal benefits. But out of all of them, Shadow Magic is some of the best. With Strength of the Grave, the Hound of Ill Omen, and Shadow Walk that gives you a free use of Distance spell. Out of all the Sorcerer subclasses, Shadow Magic seems to be the most effective with their use of Sorcerer points. And as a sorcerer, that's what you need, because without them, you're just a worse wizard. The new subclasses, for the most part, are really strong, and the Swarmkeeper Ranger, the next subclass on our list, is no exception. The Swarmkeeper is everything you want out of a ranger, but with somehow more versatility, with the ability to shock, blind, or knockback, and at higher levels disarm, slow, and knock prone. The subclass also has the ability to fly, which is amazing for getting to hike to fight with any ranged weapon. I mean, why play any other subclass if you're going to play the ranger? Bringing us to the next subclass, the Way of the Open Hand Monk. Arguably one of the best melee-focused subclasses in the game. It does so much. Open Hand can topple, stagger, or push with its flurry of blows. Gains additional psychic, necrotic, or radiant damage that can be actively adjusted to whoever you're fighting, ki blasts that give you some sort of AoE, and the wholeness of body ability that heals you, restores half your key points, regenerates a key point each round, and gives you an extra bonus action while active. And if you decide to build the subclass with Tavern Brawler, it might have some of the best single target damage in the game. Not to mention, it's not too bad outside of combat as well. But if you really want to be untouchable outside of combat while having great versatility for your party in combat, the next subclass, the College of Lore Bard, is the go-to. This subclass helps the bard do what it's best at, and that's be a support-ish caster, giving you more spells and making your insults so effective it affects your opponent's rolls. And as a bard, what more could you ask for besides stopping by Sharess's Caress? Leaving us with my top 3 subclasses on this list, and the first of the 3 being the Oath of the Ancients Paladin. The Paladin subclasses are all pretty strong in their own right. Paladins are kind of just like that, but Oath of the Ancients is easily the king of aura, because halving a spell's damage is genuinely insane. Oath of the Ancients is Baldur's Gate's aura farmer. And you also get the ability to turn Fey and Fiend, which to my knowledge no one else can do, easily fitting it at number 3. At number 2 is the Tempest Domain Cleric, and it is for one simple reason: the Destructive Wrath Channel Divinity ability. That guarantees maximum thunder and lightning damage. That ability recharges every short rest. That's insane. And as if that wasn't enough, you gain proficiencies in martial weapons and heavy armor. The subclass is just so good. If you've never played a cleric and Shadowheart is your only experience, the Tempest Domain is the subclass to try. Finally bringing us to my number 1 subclass, the Hexblade Warlock. It has self-healing. It spawns summons with its accursed specter. It has access to smites, and as a reaction, has a 50% chance to just straight up negate an attack from a hex target. Before the subclass was released, I already thought Warlock was one of the best classes in the game, and this subclass has just cemented that fact. Not to mention, it's a charisma-based class, which means it's great outside of combat as well. You really get the best of both worlds with the Warlock. And with that, those are the best 10 subclasses in Baldur's Gate 3. If there's a subclass that you believe should have been on this list, let me know. Because like I said, there's 46 of them, so I could have definitely missed something. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
I need a way to fix on my heart, but there ain't a bandage to cover these scars. Keep using my kindness, 'cause that's who you are.